Namaste, gods, goddesses, and emissaries of light. This is Dr. Shreya Tyen, also known as Empress 1111. If you're new here, welcome to my channel. Please hit the like button and subscribe, and do not forget to hit the bell so you can be notified of my new videos. All right, you guys. I was going through some old recordings, okay? And I went all the way back to last year when I rewrote my marriage contract with Source Energy on February the 27th, 2018. I couldn't remember the exact date, but I was feeling a little bit low today. I'm not even going to lie. I have so much on my mind, so much that I'm thinking about. I'm doing everything that Source is telling me to do. And yet, on the material plane, nothing is manifesting as far as this union or communication with my divine masculine. So, Source took me back to when I first was introduced to his name, Yadhe. And the funny thing about it is on the recording, I pronounced his name wrong, but it's okay because I had just came out of meditation when I did the recording and I was really emotional. So it was really hard for me to even understand certain parts of what I was saying during the recording. But it lets me know that not only do I have a 3D anniversary that's coming up on February the 19th with my twin, but I also have a cosmic university, a cosmic anniversary in union on February the 27th, which is the one that I'm going to celebrate, by the way. I don't foresee, nor do I feel, if I celebrate my anniversary on the 19th, it will be a total act of divine ordering, and it will be a miracle because I'm not in communication with him. I mean, we talk, but it's so sporadic and inconsistent that one cannot really plan under those type of conditions because I don't even know when the next time we'll talk again. So, with that being said, February the 27th, 2019 is going to be my cosmic marriage anniversary. This is when Source took me back into the beginning of time when we were first split, me and my twin, and to have him representing the feminine energy at the time, me representing the masculine energy at the time. But we were both in our celestial bodies. And I am now I'm now grasping the reality of why it is probably difficult for him in a masculine body to channel the feminine energy because he's had many incarnations as a masculine, even though his original energy started as the feminine. And in myself, I have a lot of masculine energy, and my masculine energy is predominant. However, it doesn't mean a thing. It doesn't mean that I'm manly, okay? It just means that I'm more of a logical thinker. And like all of my best friends are males because I'm not emotional like most women. And the reason being is because through many of my incarnations, even though I was a masculine energy from the beginning, I had a lot of incarnations as a woman. And so I'm balanced. I had a lot of skill and a lot of time to perfect my craft, to be balanced in that area. So now, being in the woman body, I'm balanced in both my masculine and my feminine energies, so they're unified. And so I wish that I would have did a recording 3 weeks ago when Source Energy and myself had a holy trinity where I balanced and bridged those energies together, and I came into union with my twin within. I can go back and I can look on my phone and see the date. Actually, you know what? I know the date. It was January the 10th. Absolutely. It was January the 10th because that day is the day that I decided to block my twin on WhatsApp. And it wasn't because I was, marrying him or trying to get back at him. I really needed to start the healing process for myself because I was pouring so much into my union that it became a distraction. And I'm the type of person where I cannot afford to be distracted in that type of manner because I have multiple businesses um, that require that I be 100% present because I'm dealing with clients, I'm dealing with other people, and I'm dealing with energy. And I need to be an open channel and a clear vessel so I could be able to help my clients because being in a state of discombobulation wouldn't it wouldn't serve me, and it definitely would be a major disservice to my clients. So I'm the type of person where I practice what I preach. Okay, let's go into karmics because when I was listening to the recording back then, February 27th, 2018, I knew nothing nada about a twin flame because I kept saying divine partner. Source energy kept on telling me that I am married to my divine partner and that if we were to get into relationships with other people, it would be because of our free will, but it would not be because that's a part of our soul contract with one another. And that source will continue to keep course correcting us until we're uncomfortable in those relationships, until we have the eventuality of being back together. Now, before um I made this recording, I did not date anyone. I wasn't in a relationship with anyone, but I can tell you afterwards I dated. And I mean, like when I say dating, I'm talking about like physical dating, okay? Not long distance dating because prior to I did have some long distance dating and I really don't count that. That doesn't count. I'm talking about like physical interaction between two human beings that are able to go touch, feel, hug, kiss, those type of things. I didn't allow myself to date until after I lost our baby. And I started dating this guy and I realized why things weren't working between me and this person. As much as he was just the nicest man ever, would give me the world, would buy me the world, would bring me flowers every date that we had, was always sweet. After the date, he would call me when he got home and say, "I'm home, mi amor." He was Mexican, so he would always speak Spanish to me. I was regaining my language of speaking Spanish again through this relationship with this guy. But there was one key component that was missing: love. I loved him like philia love, like, brotherly, sisterly love, but I didn't have the eros love like I had for my twin. And I didn't have that agape love, which is even bigger than eros, okay, which was that divine love to where no matter what happened between us, I would always still have that unconditional love, unchained, unbound for this person. And so I began to wake up to the reality of this twin flame union. So I started doing research and everything like that. And then I started seeing karmics attached to twin flame unions. And I'm like, who is a karmic? What is a karmic? So that I want to discuss karmic relationships, karmic individuals. Whether they're from the devil or not, it doesn't matter. They are still part of a soul contract with your divine counterpart. And, sometimes we'll be like, well, why don't they just leave if they know that that's not the divine counterpart they're supposed to be with? It's not that easy, because when you're in this contract, subconsciously you're aware, but on a conscious level you're not aware that you're not supposed to be there for long. You're just supposed to get your lessons and get out. And I have come to find that my twin flame, not only is he my twin flame, but we also we had karmic debt that we had to pay over many, many, many lifetimes, because in my recording I said I thought that I could manipulate energy because I'm a Reiki master too. And I can do long distance healing. And even though I was able to remove attachments and entities and things like that from him, cleanse and realign his chakras, I still was not able to get the healing that I was looking for. And so it made me dig deeper, because Source was like, try many, many lifetimes, try going back into multiple dimensions, and then maybe you'll uncover what you're looking for. So, anyway, long story short, I started to do hypnosis. I became a QHHT hypnosis, and it was just profound, because I first had to go up under hypnosis and go back to our incarnation together in a lifetime. And it was just totally different. He was still the man, I was still the woman, like now. But he treated me, and we were not on the earth. We were on another dimension. It was called the Crystal City. I remember it like it was yesterday. We were greeted in this forest, and it was made out of crystals, quartz crystals, emerald, and copper. Okay. And this being came to me named Cypress that guided me on this journey into this wonderful castle that me and my husband lived in. And when I sat down next to him, I didn't recognize that it was him, because he obviously looked different. He didn't look the way that he looks now in this lifetime, and neither did I. But when I looked in his eyes, I knew it was him, and I started crying during my session, because the therapist asked me, Well, what's happening? Do the person that you're sitting next to, do they look familiar to you?" And I said, "Yes, it's my baby. It's my husband." And so she told me to ask him what needed to be healed in our marriage, blah, blah, blah. So he told me to be patient with him, that he loved me, that he's finding it very difficult in this incarnation to not be attached to the 3D realm based off of his culture that he chose to be born into, and the traditions of his people that are on the earthly plane in the incarnation. His family is what he was referring to. And that if I can just be patient with him and just continue to keep reminding him so he can awaken, that he will not let me down, and that he loved me so, so, so much. And we embraced in a kiss. And here it is now, a year later, and we're still not in union, even though we've had, since the 2 years we've been apart, almost 2 years we've been apart, we've had three physical reunions, but they didn't last long. And so I was listening back to the recording, and it was letting me know that God gave me a specific date, but I wasn't allowed to repeat it out loud, and so I didn't get a chance to know what it was. And I was listening to the recording. I'm like, dang it, I should have said it out loud anyway, because that one is my recording. Nobody else would have heard that recording. I mean, you should have heard me just basically patronizing myself. Like, you should have said it. How would you have remembered a year afterwards? I don't even know what was said, and I forgot about it. You were supposed to put it on a recording. That was the whole purpose of why you did it, ding dang, on recording. You should have heard me just basically being mad at myself. And then I just heard this little calm voice within me: calm down. It's not that deep. If God told you once before, don't you think that God will tell you again? I mean, come on. Everything has panned out up until now, why would Yadhe Vahe, why would this benevolent being disappoint you now? And so with the karmics, they are here to help us no matter how we feel indifferent about them, because there are certain lessons that our twins need to learn that they cannot learn with us. They're unable to learn it with us because it's not our lesson to give. And if you start looking at the karmics as teachers, not only for your divine counterpart, but also for yourself as well, then this will be a perfect matrimony. And no, I'm not saying it in a way that God is into threesomes. It's so funny because I remember saying that on my recording. I said, God is not into threesomes. He, she, Mother, Father, God wants nothing more than anything for you to be in this sacred union where the two become one. These outside influences and energies are just here as catalysts to help to trigger within the twin the remembrance of who in the hell they are so they can wake all the way up and transcend. And I remember saying on this recording that the dynamic of this union is so magnetic that we have the power to transcend worlds. And looking back a year later on that recording, it is so amazing when you listen to yourself. The state of mind that I was in, the mind frame that I was in, I was at so much peace, and I was even more tranquil and had so much more serenity then than I do now. And the crazy part about it is that I had just lost our baby, like maybe 3 weeks prior to recording that audio. It's amazing the things that we survive through and the things that we come through and the things that pass, and we look back on it and we wonder, how in the hell did we get through that? Well, I'm going to tell you why. Because there is a driving force that is within you, your own personal Christ or your own personal Yadhe Vahe, that is there with you and ever present and ever available to you. All you have to do is turn within. You see, at that moment, that was my third medical miscarry from my husband. I've had more than that. I can count on one hand. I had five, but my husband will argue with me and say three because he's a nurse and he's technical and medically, you know, I went to the hospital in 3 confirmations of pregnancy, so that was good enough for him. But for me, I know my body. I'm a woman. I have 7 children, and I know when I conceive. And there's no doubt about it. I mean, there was beyond a shadow of a doubt each time that I got pregnant by him. I knew. I knew before he knew. And the last time he knew exactly when I knew, we both were telling each other, he was like, I got you pregnant. I'm like, I know. And that's not the first time that he said that. And we've had that, same wavelength of thinking when it came to my pregnancy with him. But anyway, the karmics, karma right now is your best friend. And the reason why karma is your best friend is because there are valuable, valuable, and very important lessons that your twin is learning in this separation process. Although it may be hard and a grievous moment for you, I know what it feels like. Trust me, I'm going through my own shit show myself when it comes to him. He's so inconsistent. If he was more consistent, it would make this journey a whole heck of a lot easier. It would be a lot smoother. But because of his inconsistency, 1 minute he wants to talk, 1 minute he don't want to talk. 1 minute he picks up the phone, 1 minute he doesn't pick up the phone. And the fact that we are physically in a 3D marriage. That makes it even more compounding because as a multi-dimensional being, I have to raise myself above the 3D marriage and make that contract null and void because it means nothing at this moment. It means nothing to him, apparently. He doesn't feel the need to talk to his wife, you see. So at this moment, I have to rise above it and almost pretend as if I'm not married to him. Because if I look at it as just this person that I'm in a soul contract with the divine, and that they're in their healing process, I'm in my healing process, it makes it so much easier and it takes the edge off. But when I start looking at it from a 3D point, oh my God, we got an anniversary that's coming up on the 19th. He ain't called me. He hasn't made plans. I already told you what my plans were, but he never got back with me and told me a confirmation of whether he's going to go ahead and we're going to consummate on this, or if we're going to follow through, if it's going to come together, if it's not going to come together. And when I start worrying, that's when I feel us pulling further apart. But when I detach away from any of that 3D stuff, energetically, I feel us coming together. Energetically, I receive telepathic messages from him because he is just the bomb.com. I'm telling you, I, for so many reasons, want and crave his companionship and union because of where he is spiritually. He is so powerful that he don't even know all of his power, and I do. I am so tapped in and I know his gifts, but I don't want to share everything with him at this moment because it will be overwhelming on what he can do. And I know that he knows. I know that he knows some of it, but not all. Because if he did, he will be acting totally different than the way he's acting right now. That's for damn sure. And it has taken many, 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 many lifetimes for him to be where he is. And, he's beyond even a monk, okay, with his power. I mean, my husband is so powerful, he can walk through walls. Seriously, he can teleport. That I know for sure because there's been plenty of times that he's teleported to me and I've basically seen his apparition of him and we were able to just talk like hell. He was just sitting in the room, sitting on my bed, and we were just like shooting the breeze. It's happened once since I've been in this house, and it's happened twice at another house that I lived in. So a total of 3 times he came to me and I went to him, but I can't physically teleport like he can. I went to him through a remote viewing and I kind of wish that I didn't do that because I kind of seen something that I didn't want to see. I mean, it wasn't totally horrible, but it wasn't something that I felt comfortable with. So anyway, I won't even discuss what that was, but that was actually my last remote viewing too because I felt like, well, I don't think I want to do this anymore because I got more than an eye shot of what I wanted to see. So anyway, back to the karmic relationships and the necessities of them. Karma is your best friend. It's your best friend because it is a catalyst to help you to heal. Whether they fall into the temptation or not, they were supposed to fall into the temptation with the people. Had they not fell into temptation, chances would be they would never be back with you because they will never remember. They will never get triggered and they will still remain asleep and they will still remain stuck. So it's not about the situation, it's about your perception, how you view the situation that makes all the difference in the world. Well, I'm going to go ahead and leave you with that. I said a mouthful, and I'm just really excited about my cosmic marriage anniversary that is coming up on February the 27th. Oh my goodness. Like, I already got an outfit for it, already got lingerie for it. Like, I am really going to go all out. Whether he's here with me or not, I am celebrating it because I know the feeling and the experience when I went back on that journey right before I did this video, when I listened to that audio, I was so psyched up. I was so happy and giddy and laughing. And it was like the day that I got married. You couldn't tell me nothing that day. I was full of emotions, both good, both bad, because at that time, of course, I wasn't in union with my baby. But my goodness, this is something that I'm really looking forward to, and I'm glad that I was able to share it with you. All right. So it is a good karma to like, share, subscribe, comment, leave a love donation, or a gift registry if you feel inclined to do so. I now wrap you in my love and I cloak you with the light of Christ consciousness. And so it is, everyone. Ashe.